All right, everybody, welcome to our AEW Double or Nothing review here. We like to thank all of everyone who was interacting with us on our Twitter page. I've been trying to have that get a little bit more of traction with there, but now AEW here for Double or Nothing was a pretty good show. I felt a very polarizing, definitely with the last thing, as my co-host will surely think, but overall, Matt, what did you think of the pay-per-view here?
I'm gonna give it, if we go grade wise, because of take everything in consideration.
Yep.
Between a C plus C. Given that, there were some good matches in it. Some things I like, especially mostly the one-on-one matches. I think were pretty good for the most part. Obviously, we'll get into the problems I have with some of them.
Some of them,
some of them, not that, and other problems are worse than others.
Right.
But pretty much the single matches I thought were the strong part of the show, and some of you listening probably like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
And we'll get into that.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to be nice.
So I guess we will just get right into it. So the very first thing that we had was for the buy-in, which was between Best Friends versus Private Party. Matt, what did you think about this match?
I really wasn't paying attention because I like no what's a good word for it? Not interest, but for lack of a better term, interest in it. I kind of knew who was going to win already.
Yeah.
Because like Private Party is just never seen them.
Yeah.
And like Best Friends have been on my TV each and every week, so why would I don't know.
Well, this thing, I mean, like, and for some reason, this was a number one contenders match, which makes zero sense.
Yes.
because of Private Party hasn't been on TV.
See, this is why
I didn't quite
ranking systems mean nothing. In here, even in the UFC. Like UFC, you have like the number one like you have somebody who's ranked, right? It should be number one contender to be the next person to fight the champion. But sometimes you can have, I'm just throwing a number out here, so don't like quote me, like the number.
Dominic Cruz,
the fourth.
Dominic Cruz was,
so why? What's the point of being number one if the fourth person is getting a title shot? Like, I've never liked rankings. At least when WWE did them, it was novelty, like on their website. It mean nothing.
No,
I just don't. It means there's nothing.
I mean, if anyone should have been against Best Friends, it probably should have been the Dark Order, because I believe they were the actual number one contenders with their rankings there. So yeah, that just didn't make too much sense.
That's the thing that make it. Yeah. I hate the rankings because they don't go through with them.
But for the match itself, it was pretty sloppy on Private Parties for their side. I will say this: these guys are really athletic and really
absolutely
and really charismatic, but they with their timing is just really off. Just like there was like about 2 or 3 spots where it just looked awkward. I did like though with them that they did the G9 spot, which was a spot done by Crime Time in WWE. So that was pretty cool. But outside of that, just with their offense, it just needs a lot of work, or they need to cut that in half and just do the ones that they are absolutely confident in, because this just did not look really good. But this was pretty predictable. Obviously, I mean, no way that the best friends were going to lose here, and or should they? And that's pretty much all that I have to say.
I concur.
Yeah. So then this led to us heading into the main show here, which we kicked off with the casino ladder match. Which we start off with both of the SCU members, between Frankie Kazarian versus Scorpio Sky. Honestly, Matt, I felt like for a good first 3/4 of this match that not anything actually happened. It just seems like that we were just stalling.
Yes.
Like that, and that was the one thing that the one big criticism.
I felt like as soon as Orange Cassidy came out, nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, he was the only real entertaining part about this match until that point, which is kind of sad. Like, especially too with these rules, you could win at any point. It's not like a freaking War Games match where you have to wait for everyone to be in the match. You know, it just, I don't feel like that there was ever any sort of sense of urgency for anyone to want to actually win this until everyone was in there. But go.
I think Brian Cage debuting and winning, or just him, was the best part of this match.
And to Taz being his manager,
yes,
is really interesting, and definitely the best part about this match. I mean, like, it's pretty clear they're pretty high on Brian Cage. He was a beast in Impact Wrestling, and it just, like, he adds something that they sorely needed. I mean, like, yes, they do have guys such as like Wardlow and Brody Lee, and with the bigger guys, but just with his size, athleticism, and just with his character, him and Taz fit perfectly together. So I'm very interested to see, are they going to go just like straight in to him versus Moxley? So that is pretty interesting. But as far as some pretty fun things, although you freaking hate him, I loved Orange Cassidy in this match. Guy was just so entertaining. He just absolutely hated everything about this match. Just did not want to
be in it.
He just did not want to set
why be in it.
He did not want to set up any ladders. Was constantly asking everyone, you know, what are we doing? And then like, I think it was Excalibur who said,
dumbass,
who said, dude, Tony has told you this about 200 times.
Dumbass,
climb up the ladder and get the poker chip.
Like dumb, like Dana Brooke in the Money in the Bank ladder match, grabbing the wrong damn briefcase.
Hey, at least, I mean, like, at least for me, this was entertaining. But I can see that. But one thing that did really annoy me though, Matt, and this was a constant theme about this show: the massive gatherings of people waiting for people to fall from whether it's from a like object, top rope, or
especially
whatever. It's like it's so obvious. Yeah,
this one was it Luchasaurus? Was that the other match?
I can't.
When he was gonna power bomb. Was it this match?
Yep. It was this match.
Like that was too long because somebody had their hands up, like waiting. I'm just like, oh, that looks bad. I hate when everybody's like kumbaya and hugging, like, hey, bro, and then magically they don't see somebody coming. That's the one spot I hate, and it happened several times. Maybe not several times, but a couple times during this show. And this is a general wrestling thing, not a AEW thing.
It happens everywhere. Everywhere. So it's definitely one of the things that has really annoyed me for sure. But also we had a pretty cool spot with Darby Allin with the skateboard going through with the ladder.
Gimmick
ladder. Like it was clearly starting to
that's the little thing.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's like it wasn't going to be taking too much for that ladder to snap.
I was like, that's the worst ladder ever manufactured by anybody. Like, come on. It's the little things that just take it away.
And something else that I also really took away from this too, Matt. They really missed Phoenix. Just his dynamic offense in these type of matches, I think, were sorely missed for sure. So I was really disappointed to see that. And we also had some pretty cool spots with basically everyone just piling everything onto Brian Cage. Basically, as I call it, with the Brock Lesnar spot where he takes a like nap for about 5 or 7 minutes, and then at some point he basically rises up and starts kicking everyone's ass. And also we had a pretty cool spot with Joey Janela doing a like Death Valley driver. I believe, who did he do that on? Do you recall on
who did what?
Joey Janela doing his doing his
was it
his Death Valley driver on the Booker chip?
Marco Stunt?
No.
Or
I don't. Was he in this match? Oh yeah.
He came out.
Oh yeah. He was. You were pretty. Annoyed.
Thanks for reminding me. Freaking mini me ladder.
It's actually Mr. Fun Size, Matt.
I'm gonna put you through this table. Why did Luchasaurus need his help to chokeslam whoever he chokes them? Was it Janela, or was it not Janela, or was it I don't even remember.
I don't either, but
because they did that double chokeslam.
Yeah.
Like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least it wasn't Brian Cage. He was booked.
Oh yes,
he was booked.
I would have lost my mind.
He was booked extremely strong here, which I kind of had a feeling that like as far as participants for that for that final person, I don't think that it was too hard to actually figure that out, just because there isn't too many options, because obviously everyone who was cut by the WWE, I believe they're still under their 90-day no compete.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So this was obviously the best case scenario. So obviously Cage he wins here. And he will be getting a future world title shot. So you're figuring this is leading right into him versus Moxley. And pretty much when this happened, I mean, we already had a pretty good idea that they were going to be keeping the title on to Moxley, and this just basically reaffirmed that. So yeah, a pretty decent opener there. Then we
I've seen better ladder matches.
Yeah.
Like WLC.
Then we
I just want to see your reaction,
then
which is more entertaining.
Then we move on to MJF versus Jungle Boy. Matt, what were your thoughts on this match?
I think the second half of this match really was the best.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like maybe I was still a little bit sour from parts of the ladder match, that I wasn't into the first part of this match, but it really got going for me, and it was really enjoyable. Mm-hmm. I think really solid match. MGF is great.
Yep.
And yeah, I love how this match was booked.
Yeah, just like these guys, they had insane chemistry.
Best booked match of the night.
Yep.
Well, I take that back.
Jungle Boy.
One of this too.
Yeah. With Jungle Boy, he sold that arm really well all through this whole entire match. Just him and MJF, they had a pretty good match. I think was on the Jericho Cruise. So like these guys just seem to really work well. They were battling each other back and forth with the chops. And two, another thing I was pretty surprised by, Matt. Not too much interference by Wardlow here. I totally
forgot he was.
Yep.
Was he even ringside?
Yeah. Yep. He was there. He never interfered, which stunned me. I thought for sure.
Honest to God,
mm-hmm.
I forgot he was out there.
Yep. Like he wasn't. Like they never even put a freaking
that's
camera.
Stupid.
Yeah. So like that.
Okay, then I'm slightly a little bit sour in this match, even though it was still a good match.
I mean, if anything, it really puts over MJF as a pretty dim.
But the thing is, I totally forgot he was out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have done
mm-hmm.
something, maybe not the cost to
mm-hmm.
throw the match
mm-hmm.
In favor of MGF,
right? But
I don't know. I totally forgot he was a thing, and I don't think that's a good thing.
Is it though? Because I don't think it really changes. Because too, they could have, because he could have also said like, hey, I don't need his help against Jungle Boy. I mean, it is still Jungle Boy, still
but
a
I
really
felt
good
like
match.
we
But
needed the presence of because he's a heel.
Yeah,
I felt like you needed some presence, even though if it something that like, oh, I totally forgot he existed. Something. It didn't have to be big. I now you think of it, something needed to happen. Yeah, but nonetheless, it was a good match, minus that fact.
Yeah, and to a pretty good spot too when Jungle Boy did a reverse Hurricane Run on the side apron, and then MGF he lies on the floor, his eyes fully open and just staring right up at the sky. That was a pretty cool spot there.
Yes.
It just a really physical match, a really competitive here, but at the end, MJF barely scrapes by, and while at the same time making Jungle Boy look pretty strong here. So yeah, I don't have anything to really complain about this. Definitely at this point, better than anything that had happened on the show to this point.
Yes.
So then we move on to the TNT Championship between Cody Rhodes versus Lance Archer with Iron Mike Tyson at ringside. Matt, what did you think about this match and everything involving with Iron Mike?
I thought this was another good match. Mike Tyson, for good or bad, didn't do much per se, minus chasing Jake Roberts away, because when he came after you got thrown and coming back with the snake. So Mike Tyson wasn't really an impact in this match. It was more what happened inside the ring. Right. So that's good. That's good or bad. I mean, I'm indifferent with that. Good because it took focus more in the ring. So I think that outweighs it. I'm upset that they didn't go with Archer to win, because he's been dominant all the way up. I think this was a good way to establish a new star, and then maybe down the road, maybe Cody would take it. I don't know. I as of now, I highly dislike Archer not winning. Not saying Cody's not deserving. That's not what I'm saying. I think it'd be more impactful if Archer wins.
But at the same time, too, you could also say, well, you need to put the title onto someone who is already a like name already established into. This finally gives one of the elite members a singles title, which I feel has been a little bit overdue. And I also believe too, with TNT, they probably really wanted someone such as Cody being the first ever TNT champion. I would have been fine personally with either guy going over here. I have said that for quite some time now. It is going to be interesting with Cody and where they exactly go, because to me, a match that makes a ton of sense right now, Matt, is Cody versus MJF. Like, that is essentially still built right in there. And with MJF still being undefeated, I definitely feel that this is probably what they're playing for All Out. So that has things to be really interesting.
I just hate doing this at the expense of Archer.
Well, I mean, like, he's still fine, but yeah, just like how they pinned him, like I would have preferred it if it was just by a sneaky pin or something. That would not completely just like take him out of the picture here, which now obviously he's pretty much at the back of the line now. So
yeah, see, I'd rather have him established, built as a star, and whatnot. But now, I don't like it.
Okay, then so say you have him as your champion. Is that going to really do anything with establishing that credibility of the title? Even though he like has him Jake, there is a big difference having the title on
if he's winning in his establishes.
But it's still Cody Rhodes, so it's like it has a certain credibility, which I feel like as good as Archer is,
It depends on what he does with it.
well, like and like that's the thing.
If you build Archer up, you build that title at the same time.
And like and I'm sure regardless that they would that they would definitely do that, but I just don't think that it would be anywhere near the same as if Cody was holding the title. That's that.
I don't know.
Yeah, that is just kind of how I feel. But for the specifics of the match here, we had before the thing even started, it was like a MMA presentation where, like, you know how they call everyone to the center of the octagon, and they present with the title and everything.
I'm sorry, the ref sounds like a dope.
Yeah, he's what you would call a nerd. But yeah, look, like and him asking both of those guys to shake hands was like, okay, sure. So
I didn't have a problem with that.
Also some
fine.
Yeah, some pretty good spots. Anything involving Tyson was hilarious with his facial reactions was really good, I felt.
I probably didn't know where he was.
Yeah, Cody using Jake's DDT right in front of him was pretty cool.
I don't like how JR said, I think he might have said it Wednesday, I don't know, that Jake used to either finish or beat people with that, completely burying everybody else who uses it, that kicks out of it, that by the time Jake was done using it, DDT has become basically ineffective as a finisher.
But I'm like, you can kind of spin it though to where it's not completely burying it though too. Like
how?
Like that basically Jake was the only man who could really finish anyone with that move, and like no one else could.
What's the difference how Jake did it from anybody else?
Does there need to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what's he doing differently that Joe Schmo from Kokomo does in the ring, and it doesn't finish it off?
Yeah,
everybody does a DDT now. That's the problem. It's almost as common as a punch.
If you say so.
It is. What are you talking about? Watch a match.
All right, so
everybody uses it.
So then
Dean Ambrose uses it as a finisher, and somehow that's more effective than a regular DDT.
Well, like it's not exactly
because he hooked two hands instead of one,
and he lifts his opponent in the air and does it.
I thought he just falls back.
No, have you not been paying attention to that? Like he's been doing that for every single match.
I'm even thinking WWE, but still,
like you were thinking of Dean Ambrose, not like John Moxley.
Doug Bateman here says Stone Cold does a stunner and everyone does it the same and doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, I mean that's basically
and there you go, and that's a problem.
Yeah. So all right. So then,
who uses a stunner? And
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but he finishes people now. That finishes somebody.
Yeah, because if you recalled with Cena, he was doing that when he was having his U.S. title run, and that really pissed off Austin because
he was doing the damn springboard thing that it just looked terrible.
Yeah.
But see, that's a problem. If some moves are not protected.
It looked painful too.
Some things are not protected. Like the Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah.
That looks devastating as all hell. And
Katie Williams has been pretty outspoken about that. Like
and then never finished anybody until recently.
What was it? Like Dustin Rhodes who?
I
think so. Yeah,
finally, that's another thing.
Yeah, he did that,
and that's another thing.
Sabian. Yeah,
and this is I'm doing this as a generalized in wrestling. This is like not an AEW thing, even though people might think I hate AEW, which I don't per se. Like everybody start doing the Canadian Destroyer, and nobody finishes. Nobody gets finished, and that that's not good. It's lessening the impact of the move. If maybe a few people did it or so, and it finished somebody, then it's okay. But like when I see it, I'm like, oh, that looks cool, but he's gonna kick out.
Well, yeah, I mean, like that's
what I'm saying. Like that's my argument with the DDT, and with the stunner.
Mm-hmm.
That him saying that like just brings it up in my head.
Mm-hmm.
That like, oh yeah, that used to be a finisher. That used to be unique to Jake the Snake. Now everybody's doing it, and it's just like another move.
Yeah.
That is my issue.
Yes, we know. Okay, so basically, we also saw with Cody doing a callback with Sting and him doing a Stinger splash. That was pretty cool. And then we come towards the end where basically somehow in the back a ref just like somehow sees or now we're saying like hey Arn, he was interfering, so you should kick him out.
Do you know how many times in the history of wrestling this should have happened?
Right, exactly.
When the ref gets distracted and the other guy does something.
Yeah.
every ref in the United States of America should come out every other freaking wrestling show.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And
like you gotta keep consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency. Let me say that again.
So basically, they point and look at Tyson, and basically Tyson says, "Yep, kick him out." So then,
like, why wouldn't Tyson do it himself?
Yeah. So then,
there you go. That's another issue.
So then, eventually, Jake he goes back and grabs his snake, and basically Tyson he takes off his shirt and threatens to really F him up, and he runs scared. This eventually leads to Cody getting the pin and the 1-2-3 onto Lance Archer, and I was like, oh boy.
And the facepalm by me.
Yep, Matt was not going to be
I'm not
too happy, and then I proceeded to tell him
to mock me.
I told you so. I told you so. I told you so.
You got lucky.
All right. I told you so. All right. So
I don't know. Did you tell me? Stop telling me so over and over again.
I told you so.
Stop it.
All right. So for the next two matches, which I don't know why these two matches were even on this card, felt just like a
at what 11:30.
No, it was like 11:45.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Closer to midnight, actually.
Too damn long for 4 hours and what 45? No,
3 hours.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Well, with the I don't okay. To be fair, not count the pre-show 3 hours.
But like basically,
this is like a longer. It needs to be like over like at 11.
Well, if they
back
were
when WWE used to do that, at 8, not anymore. Yeah. Like it was just like,
well, at the same time though, they only do 4 of these still too. It's like it's much different because too with either SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, or with the Rumble, they pretty much end on what 4 or 5 hours there. So which I'm completely fine with. It's the other shows that are are like 4 hours long that are beyond ridiculous. That's kind of how I feel about that.
Well, I see your point here. Yeah, but I'm just saying here it's just like why is it?
But yeah, these here it's just
okay,
Statlander.
Real quick, we got a comment here. Doug Bateman again. Cody has been putting over a lot of talent in his time.
Yeah.
Well, for a lot of time. Oh, never mind. Cody's been putting over a lot of talent. It is time for him to have his moment.
Yeah.
Yes, but not again. Not. I don't want to expect at the expense of Archer. That's my problem. But if it was anybody else, there was established quote unquote, I'm fine with it. But I'm like, you're building him up to be a monster. I don't know. That's what's making me upset.
At the same time too, though, he has to win at some point, though. Like
right, but
he has been losing a lot.
But again, don't do this at this point against Archer. That's what my problem is. There was like a back yourself in the corner, like, and when we were talking about predictions, I had this in my back of my mind. I'm like, you want to put over Archer, build him something, if credible, but at the same time, Cody's been losing again, and I'm just like, corner, backing yourself into a corner, booking yourself, and that was my problem. I'm not angry. Well, I guess this is obvious that Cody is a champion. No, it was just at the expense of Archer. That's my problem with it. That's my issue.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing, and he put over a lot of talent he has.
Oh yeah.
Which is good, like MGF and all that stuff.
And honestly, that has been one of the criticisms about AEW is that, like, with guys such as Kenny and Cody, they are putting over too many people without putting themselves over, as because they are where the company is actually built on, with those core guys.
That's fair. If you can mix in and if you can mix in and out, right. But anywho, let's move on.
Okay,
we'll be here all day.
Okay, Chris Statlander versus Penelope Ford. I was just waiting for this thing to finally end. Thankfully, it did not go on super long. Statlander, she wins. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about that.
It was there.
It was there. And then we go to Shawn Spears versus Dustin Rhodes. Shawn Spears is the bane of my existence.
I don't know why this was a thing.
I just this was a complete waste of time. This was essentially
underwear spot.
Yeah, this was essentially a comedy spot. I'm not sure if they're teasing him, and like I'm totally splitting up.
Why is there a picture of Tully on his penis?
Yeah, that was weird. It's just I don't know why this was here. And like Dustin Rhodes, he wins. Okay, so we're just going.
Dustin Rhodes didn't bleed. It's a miracle.
Neither
Rhodes
brother bled, which was a freaking miracle.
Pay-per-view E.
Yeah,
grade E.
All right. So then we move on to the women's championship, and no disqualifications. And I know for sure, I know for sure with Doug here, he was really happy about this here.
The person in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida. This was an excellent match here.
No, I'm not going to bring it up.
And no disqualifications. I would say though, probably for the first half, nothing really too much really happened in here, but towards the end, this thing really picked up.
That's why I'm gonna say it's a good match.
Yeah. Hikaru, like, she's clearly AEW's best in-ring women's wrestler right now.
I'm not saying a lot.
Obviously. But
maybe besides Britt. But.
Yeah. Which I'm perfectly okay with them putting the title onto onto Shida.
Yes.
The only problem is I'm not exactly sure who you exactly feuded with.
Anybody, I don't know.
Because especially with Baker is probably out for the foreseeable future because that probably would have like led right into that there. So I'm hoping that they bring in some other girls here. Hopefully Tessa Blanchard here soon.
You're really singing. You really I want to hope.
I'm really
hope for that every show.
Really holding out hope, man. Like just they need some more talent in this division because as we have seen, with a lot of these girls, especially with their offenses, whether it's like Big Swole or Penelope Ford, these girls need to lay in their offenses. Like they're too afraid to get physical in these matches, which is why I appreciate Hikaru Shida because she's not afraid to freaking hit people.
Doug saying Shida versus Statlander is likely.
Yeah, I mean that's
that's the only.
Yeah, that's the only match that you can really do
because Statlander won. So
yeah,
and they're building her, which I really, as of now, am not invested in or carry the C right now. Because Statlander is for me right now. She's
been really hit and
yes.
and miss. She,
okay.
I mean,
boop.
Yeah,
boop.
It's not. It's not.
Okay, I'm done.
It's not just. It's not just with her gimmick. It's just like she is just really sloppy with her actual matches, and it just needs to be
a personality. It just I don't know. There's something about it that it's not connecting to me.
I would be perfectly fine if for matches just if they weren't so sloppy, which honestly they really have been to this point.
Doug also says Statlander needs to kill the alien gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't be completely against that. But like, was that thing really over when we still had crowds?
Oh, I can't remember.
That's
been a long time.
Yeah, I
don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just remember all the hoopla of her like debuting from on TV because she was on Dark.
Well,
but like,
and she was really close.
Kind of fell threat,
and she was really close to sign with NXT, and that was why her sign was kind of bigger. Yeah, so
I would probably prefer it.
Yeah, so then okay, getting back on track here. Some of the camera work was kind of spotty here.
Yeah, just two distinct times.
Yeah, I was like, they clearly missed some spots here, but outside of that, there was a really good Falcon Arrow spot here from like Shida onto Nyla, which I thought was going to close this thing. And like honestly, throughout this whole entire match, I had zero faith that they were going to put the title onto Shida. And I even told you this. I was like, if there were certain absolute locks that I absolutely would have had on here, definitely would have put one on to Nyla here. But they went the complete opposite here, which I am not complaining about.
I'm good because what's Nyla have done?
Exactly, and two, on top of that, she has been off of TV, whereas with Shida, she has been there every single week, putting on really good matches. She had a lot more steam, and honestly, I can't even recall the last time that she even lost. So this absolutely worked. We will see where things go, but it was refreshing to finally say something's positive about the AEW's women's division because it's been a while since we can talk more highly about it.
And regarding Statlander, real quick from Doug, he says, "I think it was over in the Indies, but not really in AEW."
Yep, yep. I would definitely.
I never heard of her until she showed up.
Yep.
So that's just me.
Yep.
So
Same
that
here,
probably
too.
is true. I don't know.
I mean, I still recall. Do you recall when she was supposed to have a title match and basically Dynamite had to cancel it because she had an indie date, like Joey Ryan's thing, and there were so many pissed off people, myself included. Which I get. You still wanted to honor.
Yeah, then why?
Dates,
who booked her into the
right? It's just like how do you not know that? But all right. So then we move on to the AEW World Championship between Jon Moxley versus Mr. Brody Lee. Going into this match, the only thing that I was praying for was that we would just get a really good match. That's all that I was asking for, because from an actual feud, this just felt completely random and completely rushed. Because as we have talked about with Brody, it's just far too soon. He hasn't been in the company for what? Not even 3 months. Yeah, like
something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, he debuted, I believe, on the 18th of March. So yeah, he hasn't even been in the company for 3 months now. And he was just basically beating up a bunch of cans. So it just like I was not feeling this, and I'm just got sick and tired of the gimmick. It was just not working.
Were you sick? When you mean sick and tired? Were you saying sick and tired of the match or the build?
Of the build.
Oh, okay.
Match itself was really good, and I will preference this by saying this: if you just take out all of the actual rules, because
yeah, what the hell?
It's just like I can't do
why
anything.
This match?
Like it just seems like every Moxie, every
countouts don't matter.
Yeah, every single Moxie match.
Threw a freaking big chip on the stage at thing that does not a disqualification. They fought out in the stands. The ref could have counted to 100 and like it's things like that. Like if this was billed as a no disqualification match, fine. Right. This would have been great. Points are taken off if you're judging this fairly for the rules not being followed. Besides that, I enjoyed it. This is way better than Moxley and Hager. Light years.
It's not even close. Like Hager and Moxley was boring as freaking bricks, man.
Yes.
What's basically pulling two with that there for basically half of that was a fake MMA fight,
right.
essentially,
right.
which was boring as hell, and it just looked really bad. I mean, like
another thing. Maybe unless I missed a detail here, that if here's a better way to state this, wouldn't parts of the people of the Dark Order would be out to help Brody win somehow, or did they say because?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I don't believe that they actually specified yeah, like why didn't they help him? Unless Brody just told him, hey, don't.
Unless I missed this, if anybody's listening, did I miss an announcement? Because
I don't think so, man. No.
But I'm just thinking, shouldn't somebody have come out? Obviously not the cost. About to say Dean John Moxley the match, but maybe Moxley takes him out.
Yeah.
In the thing because apparently it's no freaking disqualification.
Yeah.
I would have. I said this to you. I would laugh if somehow this match ended in a disqualification. I would have lost my mind. But that being said, like I think this was a good match.
That with that spot on stage where they fell through it.
Yes.
And to with Brody getting bloodied up. That was a really good spot.
Yeah. And here comes another problem I had was when Moxley hit holy crap, finisher, what's the finisher? Holy crap, you said it. I'm drawing a blank.
A paradigm shift.
The paradigm shift, which is a DDT.
Yep. Essentially.
Brody Lee kicked out like at 1 after getting paradigm shift through a stage.
Well, yeah, it's just like some of you. Yes,
okay, Fiend Brody Lee.
Yeah.
And then he kicked out at, I think he kicked out at 2 the second time.
Yeah, the second.
See, that's what's like. I can, if he kicked out, if he do it the first time, right? If he kick out like right at 2 3/4, okay, we've seen it many a times, right? But not one. And my question, because I don't remember, did he get pinned? And it shouldn't matter, but did he get pinned before that, Brody? I don't remember. And by don't remember, I mean I don't know if he did or not.
No.
But like the one after all that, I don't buy. If it was like 2 and like 7/8, that's fine. We've seen that many times. It's just like I saw it, I was like, what?
Yeah, and then like what 30 seconds later, Moxley just basically puts him asleep and that was it.
I'm okay with that finish with point of sleep because that way Brody doesn't get pinned or submit. He just passes out.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with that. That is a great end, as perfect ending for that because you want to protect Brody, and Dean obviously not losing. That's fine. Just the kick
like
out of
Moxley.
See, I was talking to
Moxley.
my dad. I know.
Moxley.
I was talking to my dad earlier about because he's not watching regularly, and he was confused on the names. Like, yeah, John Moxley used to be Dean Ambrose in WWE, so that's in my mind. So my apologies, John Moxley. See, that was my problem. But
come on now, pal.
Come on now. God damn it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I should have.
Okay.
I should have. But the actual finish of him passing out, I'm fine with. It's just the 2 minutes before, it's upset with.
Yep, for sure. All right, so then this so where do they exactly go now with Moxie? Do they go straight into him versus Brian Cage? Do they go to him?
Yeah, who else do you go to?
I mean, like
who else is
MJF? MJF, like he's also a possibility.
True.
Like to me, those are your two top people.
My question here is, it is like legitimate. How so? Brian Cage won a right for the a title.
Yeah.
How long does that go for?
I don't think that they specified.
Right? So
I don't think that they specified.
Because you could either go MJF or Brian Cage, but like, how long does Brian Cage just sit on that?
Yeah.
And if you face MJF,
I gotta think that. I mean,
here's my thing: if you go MJF, right,
which to me is probably where they should go.
Should MJF win that first match?
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
So right, okay, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're good there. So you can't have Brian Cage versus MJF because they're both heels.
Yeah, they're both heels.
So that's my question. That's my question: is how long does that title shot go? It's because you're not going to forget about it.
Well, into like,
and we'll see Wednesday. Hopefully, they say. But that's my question of who faces
into
John Moxley first.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, into with them Cage, it's going to be really hard to convince people like, hey, he should win over Moxley when he just debuted. Whereas in a guy in MJF who has won pretty much every single match except for a fatal four-way.
To play devil's advocate there, you could say, look at the dominance of Brian Cage.
Right.
I can believe that he can beat Moxley.
Right.
His look at his size and just physique and just destruction compared to Moxley.
On top of that, Taz adds a lot of credibility on top of that.
The workaround here is if you do Brian Cage versus son of a bitch Moxley, you can do, like you said, possibly if you work that an MJF versus a Cody.
Right.
And then if MJF, I don't know how it works. It beats Cody, whatever, with title, he deserves a title.
Right.
You can see I'm the TAT champion because everybody tunes in to see me, and something like healers like that.
I was also thinking about Cage. They're probably doing something with like him and Darby Allin because
obviously
like that they're clearly are doing something there. So
maybe that's the first step.
I think definitely they should definitely go with a Moxley.
Justin Paz 111, I probably butchered that name, says Khan announced Moxley versus Cage for title at Fighter Fest. We missed that.
Fighter Fest?
Fighter Fest.
Yeah, they must have just tweeted
did they just Justin, did they just tweet that out?
Yeah, I must have missed that there.
Yeah, let me I'm gonna continue.
Is like a Fire Fest just going to be a like Dynamite then? I'm guessing, or
maybe a pay-per-view like maybe something like this.
Let me check on Fightful right now too. Says Layerman for says injuries. Stampede will defend his title against Brian Cage, and more information will be released this week. All right,
so that makes sense. So
assume that's probably they are going to be just like bringing that as just a like Dynamite more than likely. So and with that being the case, I'm pretty confident that they're definitely keeping that title onto Moxley. I just
here's another thing, like if Brian Cage is booked like this monster, you're gonna have Moxley beat him. This is another thing at the expense of so and so, which I hope doesn't happen. Like, you're building these people, don't make them. I don't know. We'll see. Well, I can't.
Like, it really depends how they hook that too. Like, we'll
cross that bridge when we come to it.
All right. So then we get to Matt's favorite thing of the night, and boy, I cannot wait to hear his.
I will go off as you go through the match. I will go off at that.
Okay, so definitely, I was extremely entertained by this match here. It was a lot of fun.
Apparently, you get entertained by standing in the field and seeing a butterfly flutter by. Butterfly.
Like I said,
I have to be the hill.
And I was telling Matt, I was like, calm down there, corny. You're having
there's a line,
a heart attack here.
There's a line that I have.
Well, like,
and it was crossed.
Definitely though,
carrying cross.
When this thing
I'm stupid.
When this thing kicks off, Inner Circle's entrance was freaking awesome with the
problem with this.
But and then the E-League come out with their awful theme music. Which,
somebody change that theme music, please.
And to a lot of people have said this, completely agree with it. It's just,
you're supposed to be like the big great faction in wrestling right now, and you come out with that.
And hey,
and I criticize MGF's first part of his music. No more, because the Elite music sucks.
Well, I now we know why Hangman didn't chose not to come out to that because it freaking sucks. That's why.
Smart man.
Yeah.
He spent half the time backstage and didn't have to deal with all this bullshit.
Okay.
Smart man.
All right, so then
Smartest man on the planet.
So then at some point, Hangman arrives on a freaking horse, and Matt is already losing his damn mind as he's chasing down poor Sammy
because
Guevara.
I'm just like, because this all stems back to the damn golf cart incident.
Right.
Just run, avoid, just step out of the way. The horse can't do 90-degree turns.
Yeah, so basically Sammy he freaking bolts it.
He must
poor
have
guy. He was just having a really rough night. But
I bet he can't go golfing.
Uh-huh. All right, so then there was so many crazy stuff that happened. I took some of them and I'm just going to let Matt just
well
sort of
you got
react
okay
to this.
yeah. So pretty much the first, I don't know, third to and a half I was okay with, and that part was starting the fight on the field and then going into the ring, which I was starting to worry that it was just like a regular match on a football field, which I'm like, I hope that's not the case, because
Which I then told you, I'm like, dude, there's a lot of time left.
right, and I'm
this
sitting there
match.
going, I'm like, I'm sure of it, but it better not. And then it moved away, and then it will go on, just go on.
All right, so then eventually Matt Jackson, I believe jumps off of the field goal post, which basically everyone was like waiting for him again.
That was a couple of times in this match.
Yeah, that happened.
Conveniently, there's a ladder on the football field.
Hangman, he keeps on searching for Sammy Guevara, and instead of trying to find him, he just heads to the stadium's bar.
That's smart. He was dumb. He should have brought the horse in so nobody knew he was in there and just sit there and drink. The smart man. Why fight and get hurt when I can just sit there and drink? Smart.
And then we go back to by the pool area, and like Kenny is basically getting killed.
Okay, so far we're good.
Yeah, killed by Santana and Ortiz when they send him through with like some sort of a like steel fence or something.
I think a barricade.
Yeah. So basically, he goes through that. Then we eventually get with Santana and Ortiz fighting off with Matt to the pool, and then Ortiz is like, "Dude, I can't swim.
It's 3 feet."
And the thing
Stand up.
is like
you don't need to swim.
3 feet. And
I was gonna say something. It would have been too. No, I would have gone to hell for it. I was not gonna say it.
So then I am just seeing Matt's face, and it's getting more and more red.
Okay.
And
okay, the 3 feet. Okay, if that was the thing with it, that's fine. And I made a joke of Lake of Pool of whatever reincarnation. I didn't think it was actually going to come true. So Ortiz, Santana, whatever the fuck, they're pretty much trying to commit murder here and drown Damascus. Because I know if I say Matt Hardy, you're going to say, no, it's Damascus.
damn right. So then,
and all of a sudden he comes up. He's he apparently magically changed underwater.
1.0.
He's 1.0, and then like screw that. Start to drown him again, and then the old like Matt Hardy version 1 like
facts are
things on the side, and
they
Ken and Ortiz look like they're looking at the screen like they can see it. What in God's name? So that's my line across, right? Try to get close to logic as possible, and somehow Santana Ortiz had the magic ability, more powerful than Matt Hardy, to see graphics on the screen when it's freaking recorded.
So then,
and then he comes up as something else that I forget.
Yeah. So basically, they send him down.
Holy crap!
I think he came back as like
I forget.
Big Money Matt.
Okay, serious question.
Yeah.
To be serious. When did he use that gimmick?
In TNA.
Was that that was before the
basically
before the broken?
Yeah,
okay.
right before.
I wasn't really paying attention because the broken stuff made it popular. I figured serious. That was a serious question.
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay, so then,
and then they drown him again, and he's like dead.
Him again, and then he comes back out as Damascus, which eventually leads to with Matt sending Santana into a like ice
No, you missed. Be right before that, the bell.
Oh yeah, that's
Matt Hardy rings the bell, and apparently Ortiz has a seizure beyond compare, and like gyrating, and they put him in a wheelchair that happens to be there.
Matt tapes him up, and everything.
Yeah, and he's like having a seizure, like he's like, I'm not going to say what I was about to say. I was going to stop there and go off.
Yeah, so
with a wheelchair that, come on, guest relations, they should be by guest relations services and not out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So then there was
put him in the ice box and put the broom or something so you can't get out.
Yep.
So he freezes to death. Just murder on every level here. Forget COVID-19 restrictions. Governor, you've had a murder in your state. This is a Florida story.
Yep, this is definitely
this whole match was a Florida story. If a Florida man was a match, this match would be a Florida man.
Okay, and but
anybody else pissed off my opinions right now? Please comment in the live chat. I want to see your distaste for my opinions. Just for
ridiculous as that was, Matt Jackson suplexing Sammy Guevara 100 yards was
what the hell?
That was dumb. Between that
crossed the line for you.
Between that for whatever reason, Nick Jackson running.
How both of them not dead?
Nick Jackson running the whole entire staircase was somehow building up speed to him.
He slowed down.
Right. It was just like, and then before that,
no, wait, no.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know if you were getting to that, but it just popped in my head now.
Probably was.
They finished the 100-yard suplexes, the 100-yard amigos.
Yeah.
And he gets up and celebrates, and the ref has a freaking flag.
Yeah.
And says, personal foul, excessive celebration. Okay, two things.
Deep breaths, man.
Hang on, wait.
Take your medicine.
Okay, first off, and then this is before I tear back on the flag. This was a serious question because I forget what happened. So, by the time between when Sammy got suplexed and was in the end zone,
right?
Did he move at all from that point to when he got sprinkler up the ass? Because he was in the end zone, right? I can't remember.
No, basically with the sprinklers, that was at the very end there.
Yeah, but he got suplexed. Did he move, do anything else after that? Because I just remember. See, this is what I remember. That happened. Damn flag bullshit. And then all of a sudden they cut to him at the end, and he's laying on the ground with a sprinkler. And I don't think he was in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm not. I forget exactly how we got there, or maybe they forgot.
Because if not, continue it. So see this match, like the flag bull crap. It gets too hokey here with the flag, too football punny, right? And this is my criticism. I'm gonna get off my step on a soapbox. If WWE did this, I'm almost positive that if it wasn't unanimously hated, it would have been more polarizing than I saw on Twitter on my account.
I think it would be more polarizing than actually hated. Like, because if you go back to Orton versus Wyatt, with that like a warehouse match.
Wait, what?
The
outside thing.
It was like House of Horrors or something like that.
I like that better than this.
Yeah,
because my counterpoint to that is that Bray Wyatt is like a quote unquote supernatural being crap. I could forgive that, like the Undertaker stuff. I can forgive that.
unlike Hardy, he is essentially that too, though. You know, with his crazy and insane stuff, that is exactly who
Still
he
stupid.
is.
I don't remember being that House of Horrors match being that bad.
No, it was honestly, I don't recall it being.
But
bad.
okay, well, okay,
Yeah.
But to your point, let's say there wasn't overall praise for it, right?
No, it was
Okay.
like
For this, I've seen on Twitter, everybody's saying this is, I don't know if they're being serious, like the greatest thing ever. And
I wouldn't say that, but
people were saying that's what pissed me. That's what was pissing me off more about this match is the people's reaction on Twitter that everybody was saying this is like the greatest thing since sliced bread. But it got the worst part for me was all the football bull crap. Like when Jericho pinning whoever the hell.
It was like a Jackson.
One of the Baldy brothers. I'm sorry. Okay, that's when Courtney came through. That's my bad.
Yeah.
One of the Young Bucks, with whoever it was.
Yeah.
And they kicked out at 2.5, and Jericho was flipping out and wanted a replay.
Yeah.
They go to a replay. They go into go in the blue tent, and for some reason, I think he zipped it up. Like I was expecting like somebody to be in there and come out. Like it'd be nice if like Sting was in there. That'd been weirdly cool. But it comes up and they said the play on the field stance, and she does the first down thing, and I'm like, ah! But it's that stuff. If it was just like a brawl thing, like what they did 2 weeks ago,
right,
minus the golf cart, I think it would have been fine with me. I wouldn't have been going out of my mind with it. But it's like that stuff. And again, it's mainly because just seeing the reactions on Twitter of everybody going praising the hell out of it when if it was on the other foot, the other foot being WWE, I don't think it would have been like crucified and praised and what have you, and stuff, and maybe a counter. I don't want to say that. So that's what was getting me mad. That was fueling the anger inside. That it's like the honeymoon period with this company is still going strong, and like at least Twitter, when I'm seeing like this company can't do anything wrong, and it's obvious that
who's
for
ever
us
saying that,
who's
ever saying that, I mean, like,
well, it just what's what it seems on Twitter. Like everybody's just like AEW is like the best thing ever when it's not. And I mean, I'm not saying AEW is bad.
You can say that about every single company.
And I agree. But it just seems like there's more praising the hokey crap like this match than if WWE did it. It would get criticized, rightfully so. Like, obviously, if you've listened, you and me, we've criticized and praise many things on this show, right?
Yep.
And that is fair.
It's what we do.
Right. But it's just the stuff on the Twitter machine. Now, obviously, the Twitter machine, what am I, 50?
Or a Bully Ray. He
says that on the Twitter machine. Yeah. And Twitter might be a minority of that. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what everybody's thinking.
Honestly, Matt, you're talking about an extreme minority.
But I'm seeing it even with people who are like, I don't want to say professionals. I don't know. But like people I think would have more common sense.
Who are you talking about specifically?
Oh, I don't know. Nobody specific. Just like all these accounts. I don't know specifically, but that's all I was seeing. I don't think I saw like one like what is this? Doug Bateman, I think during this time fans want more fun than ever. This is what the match was, a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that is what, and that's
but
what I was.
But I still just too. Yeah, I just still want, I don't know, somewhat realism, something more logical realism in wrestling because these are regular humans. I know we compare wrestling to like a movie. A movie's different because it's a movie depending on what genre. you can have. Here's my point. You can have more fun stuff without it being hokey, like with all the football crap. That's my point. There's many things that could be fun. If we had the match like on Dynamite 2 weeks ago, more like that, and not being playing into the football stuff, and I feel like I'm a broken record. It's fine.
But
I'm okay.
But can't you also say at the same time though, with this type of a like match that it kind of calls for it though, because like say they just gave you a like a standard match with like just basically with steel chairs and ladders
define
and stuff.
standard match before
or what I meant to say is
a
standard hardcore match. I should say. Wouldn't you feel a little bit disappointed without it being too crazy? Because I felt that it definitely called for that.
When I mean like you can fight around the like not just stay in the ring area and just use chair. You can fight in the stands. Excuse me, fight and do all the cool moves like the finish there with and stuff
Kenny.
And Kenny and Sammy. You can do like that's fine. That could still be fun, but like when you get to when you're pushing at least my limits of on the teetering of hooky. We're skipping work, like the over comedy stuff. That's when I have like almost a problem. And then call me out if we're doing anything WWE and it's on the similar thing and I don't call it out. Please call me out. And I'm gonna try to be. I try to be fair, criticizing stuff, and looking back. And that's why I had to. I don't want to go on, even though I don't like. Not the biggest fan of Orange Cassidy. I'm trying to dial back on trashing him because if I like Damian Mizdow doing moves to him
or Santino Marella,
that was funny. You liked it too.
Name one time.
I don't know, but it was a long time ago.
Exactly. Horseshit.
Like this match. If you hate Santina, I can hate this match.
I hate everything that was about that, and you know that. But continue.
Doug Bateman here. Thank you, Doug Bateman, for participating in the chat. We're much appreciated here. He had two more comments. You had an incredibly serious match. It was a war for the title.
I'm like a Moxley and a Brody Lee.
This was the fun main event that said most home happy, except me. Also, keep in mind there was a ton of character development in the main event. Hangman regained his momentum tonight. It's true, but like,
and two,
I'm not saying.
And two, if
you can have these stuff without being hokey. The football stuff, put it again. You have the match, and do all the crazy crap you want. 100% behind it, 100%. But like it gets too gimmick. It got too gimmicky. That's a better word for it. It's like it like took points off for me. I came in expecting 100% just balls to the wall craziness, and yes, maybe if you get to the craziness, it gets
I was
off logic.
I was expecting craziness, hokiness, and like, to be perfectly honest, with the logic was going to be thrown out the window.
That's the thing. But I feel like that's almost the problem with stuff like now. Like,
it's for this specific match show.
It should, but if there was a little bit, I can forgive it.
We're not going to be seeing something like this too often, ever.
Right, but why have to do it once? Have it somewhat less hokey and more. What's the word I'm looking for? Not.
It got
too
boring?
much. No.
And
it wasn't
fun. because as we all know, Matt hates fun.
I don't hate. You hate fun. Fun like Santina.
God damn it!
It was entertaining.
But okay, so
I didn't say. Did I say it was boring?
No, but I wanted to ask you this. So with this ending, do we start to see?
Which I like that spot, by the way.
Do we start to see the potential start of the end of the inner circle? Do we start seeing some cracks? Because this was probably the first time where they all got beaten down like really badly. Like, do we start to see with Jericho going? You know,
I can see that Sammy may be the one that gets the boot first, since he took the pinfall. I can see that. I mean, if they do that,
right.
him by himself,
which
is the shaky thing.
I'm really concerned about that if they go down that route.
But him taking the pinfall and doing that stuff at the end and being the one to take it, if you do want to splinter the group, I think logically that's the one you go for, because like they tease that, and you've said this when we reviewed Dynamite, I think maybe during that one Bubbly Bunch,
right?
Kind of that tension, but not really tension between Jericho and Sammy. I mean, the stuff, the groundwork is there, because he's for him, saying he's like a sexy Spanish god,
right?
Like, their stuff is there,
right?
So they could do it. I mean, you can't. If it's anybody, I think it has to be Sammy,
right? Because
if you're looking at this as a faction, just wrestling wise, you have Jericho. He's not the whiny heel, but for lack of a better phrase, you have the muscle in Jake Hager,
right?
And then you have the other two,
Santana
and other people that can fight and tag team and stuff.
Yep.
So you have a good stable.
Yeah.
Sammy is like, if I knew nothing about this, right? I'll say this
about him. He always does something every show that you will always recall.
Sammy,
with him, Sammy. So I'll give him that, and also on top of that, he's a really good in-ring
I'm
wrestler.
not taking that away from him at all.
But the one thing I am concerned about him is definitely with his promos without Jericho being there by his side,
right? To
basically bounce himself off of. So that is the only thing that I'm concerned about.
That's fair, and I agree. Yeah. But like I said, if I was going in this blind, never watched an episode, and like a general fan or whatever, if I look at that stable, I would think right off the bat, just by looks, Sammy's the weaker one.
Yeah. Oh, well, and
they complain to that somehow.
He's like lost, definitely because he's lost a lot the past month.
Yeah, I feel like it's plain in that way, and I think it's more logical. It goes in that way, and just read some more Doug Bateman comments. Because I honestly think they got the NFL involved because Tony Khan can. What other wrestling promoter can use a football stadium, NFL cheerleaders, backstage access whenever he wants? And I agree. I have no problem with that. It was just how stuff went down in the match, and that's check mark against AEW there in the win column. They
can use it. Yeah.
They have this facility in the football stadium they can use. WWE, I mean, it's a loss, not their fault, but
they can, but
they have the performance center, and for them, thank God they got that, because I don't know what they would do if
they would probably find something.
Probably,
but it's just like I think
they have that. But AEW has this facility. The owner, has, and that's good for them. And
owner's son,
yeah. And then another comment is Sammy is hungry. You can tell he wants it more than others.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I agree. He's very talented. He can get those damn cue cards away. But I guess he's doing his job. But I just don't like him. But he's good.
Freaking hilarious though.
He is the face only a mother wants to smack. I don't know if that's an insult. I don't care. I don't know if that makes sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it's not
close enough.
Like everybody wants to smack his face, so he has that go for a heel. Yep. It's just
a very punchable face. You can
how that now they do break up. Obviously, I think he would be the face. And it could work. Again, the promos and the stuff by himself is the question mark with him, and maybe he can get better. There's no doubt in my mind he probably can get better. Anybody can get better. We've seen it many times in this business.
I just hope to on looking on the other side though. Hangman Page, I want to see some more progression. What are they going to exactly do with him and Kenny? Because I definitely feel that before all of the pandemic started, that they were probably planning on doing Kenny versus Hangman for tonight's show, but obviously with everything that had happened,
I thought they wanted to do that. Was it this show? It was like that War Games type of match.
Yeah, well,
was it this show?
No, that was supposed to happen
I forgot.
on like March 25th, which was basically right.
That's right.
Basically, right when the pandemic started.
What show was that? It was supposed to be on a pay-per-view.
No,
right? I thought it was.
It was going to be on. It was actually going to be on AE like Dynamite, which was dubbed as Blood and
that's it,
and Guts, which by the way was going to be happening in freaking Jersey, completely sold out by the way, which would have been AEW's biggest crowd to that point, which was really disappointing because
and now I don't think you can do that match because this obviously was like
I'm
final.
Yeah, I don't think.
Unless
I mean, like I think
you can't now.
They're going to be doing that match. It's just going to be obviously with completely different participants for the future.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with both Kenny and Hangman. As far as Hardy's concerned, I'm not exactly sure where things go. Like, do they still do him versus Jericho because that was kind of where everything was like centered around with him specifically. And as far as with the Bucks, they're kind of like in
there.
Yeah, they're kind of there right now. So I'm not exactly sure where things go.
And the things that didn't help is they stayed home because of everything.
Yeah, like just everything with the pandemic.
Can't crap on it too much.
No. So, but overall, Matt, I felt like that this was at the very least a very fun show, and especially with everything that was going on with the sudden passing of Shad Gaspard, with the sudden passing of Hana. I apologize. I do not recall her name, but she tragically passed last night in what's being called an apparent suicide, which is like it's a very serious issue, and cyberbullying is definitely a thing. I mean,
this is one of the major downfalls of Twitter.
Yep. Social media.
People can just comment and say hurtful stuff.
Yep, and just like and as we have seen, like, not everyone is just completely mentally stable, and this was kind of evidence of that. And then obviously everyone's seen Owen Hart's dark side of the ring there. It was just a very hard week for a lot of people, and I think above anything else, AEW gave fans a very fun night to basically forget about things that were going on, whether it was from with like those things or the pandemic. So
I was gonna make a joke, but yeah, I can't say it now.
Yeah.
Doug Bateman says, keep in mind Jericho was supposed to go on an international tour with Fozzy.
Yep, that was.
He probably wasn't even in the plans for Double or Nothing. Blood and Guts was supposed to be how Jericho was leaving. Mm-hmm. And it was the girl's name, Hannah Kimura.
Yep, that's her name. Yeah, thanks, Doug. So I'm just like I'm very satisfied. I feel like I'm very money very well spent, honestly, for this show. We'll see where things. Well,
I paid for it.
Yeah,
you could say that because you didn't pay.
Okay,
it was well spent for this podcast.
Yeah. So
I got the rage for like the first time.
If you say so. I've seen you rage before.
Nothing
like this.
Exactly.
Nothing like this, but it definitely
took this show to do it.
But it definitely
you got my grade in the beginning of the show.
Yeah, for sure. So I think on that note, guys, we're probably are going to be closing this podcast here. We would like to thank you,
yes.
Doug, especially he's a pretty good friend of mine on Twitter.
Yeah, thank you, Doug and Justin, for chatting.
Mm-hmm.
Most chat responses we got during any of our live streams.
Yep. Just to close this thing here, every single Wednesday we do AEW Dynamite and NXT reaction shows, and then every Saturday,
10:15,
yep,
Eastern time.
Yep, and every Saturday we drop our weekly podcast, which from this past week
today.
Yep, which was as of today, Rogan. We discussed him going exclusively over to Spotify, which was a very huge move in podcasting. We discussed with the Chicago Bulls last dance documentary. We discussed Undertaker's doc and some other things as well.
Yeah, we have the whole podcast is up, and we have, if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, individual clips of different topics that I'm going to try to get out more. Mm-hmm. There was a decent pause in that, at least late last year, earlier this year, just my schedule, and it was hard to do it per se. But now with nothing to do,
literally.
Yeah, I'm not working. I can do this more, so hopefully that helps, and you can watch or listen to topics, or actually watch, because you can see our faces on stuff you are interested about. I hope you like that. I saw today we got some likes and some comments, so it's much appreciated. And thank you to everybody who followed our Twitter account. I'd like to thank John for following people that he follows on his account and getting follows back. So if you're listening, thank you for following there. And everybody who interacted with Twitter or Twitter account today during the show.
And I should add as well, we are playing on that account on tweeting live every single Wednesday, whether I am on it or
I might even do it, maybe at least he can be we can co-do it, and I'll put my thoughts in NXT, and he could put his thoughts in Dynamite. I could probably even do it because I know he ain't watching during Raw and SmackDown. Because I know at least probably some of you still watch more than AEW and NXT. Anywho, so I could do that. Trying to get that more active. Probably should have done a long time ago, but
yeah,
I had the NB show thing, and I kind of was live tweeting during that, and after a while, I kind of like just sitting there and watching the show without worrying about saying stuff. But try to get back more on that on this account.
Yeah, for sure. I was just thinking about that last night. I was like, you know what? We should really try and get this thing a more just getting some more interaction going. And getting some more conversations and some more followers. So we're definitely are going to be using that account more. We're definitely are going to be tweeting live more, whether it's for MMA pay-per-views, whether they are fight nights or whatever. But yes, stay tuned for that.
Or other sporting events.
Yep, for sure. So I believe that for the next big thing outside of our typical events, I believe the next big wrestling show would be Takeover
in your house.
Yep. Yeah, on June 7th. We are definitely planning on doing another podcast for that. So definitely be
live reaction.
Yep, definitely be on the lookout for that, and I'm so happy that I scheduled my vacation at the very right time for that. So
and then probably after that is Backlash.
Yeah, would be Backlash after that. So yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we shall catch you on Wednesday night. Thank you for watching.